Good morning, everyone. My name is Novia Butar-Butar, and today I'll be presenting my research proposal, which titled "The Impact of Husband Smoking Behavior on Wife Productivity in Indonesia: Evidence from IFLS 5." The study aims to explore an under-researched aspect of smoking, not its direct health effect, but its indirect economic consequences, especially how a husband's smoking behavior might influence his wife's productivity. So, without any further ado, let's go to the next slide. Indonesia is often called a smoking nation. There are over 60 million smokers, and about 70% of men are active smokers. As a result, around 120 million people are exposed to passive smoke, or what we call secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke increases the risk of respiratory and cardiovascular disease and weakens the immune system. The World Health Organization reports that over 7 million people die every year because of secondhand smoke. However, I want to emphasize that the impact of passive smoking goes beyond health. It also has economic implications. For example, passive smoking may cause fatigue, illness, and absenteeism, which directly reduce productivity. So, in Indonesia context, where most smokers are men and many wives are non-smokers, it is crucial to understand whether husband smoking behavior affect their wife productivity. So, this issue is not only about health, but also about household economics and gendered labor productivity. Understanding this link could help design policies that support both family welfare and public health. To support my research, I reviewed several relevant studies. First of all, we have Site 2005, which found that secondhand smoke in the workplace lead to higher sick leave and lower productivity among employees. Swarnata et al. On 2024 examined the crowding out effect of tobacco consumptions in Indonesia, showing that tobacco spending reduced household spending on health and education. Wahyuni 2016 showed that smokers earn lower wage than non-smokers, suggesting lower productivity. And Satyana et al. On 2020 estimate that smoking caused Indonesia to lose 15.6 million productivity adjusted life years, or about 2.3% of its total productive potentials. So, most of this study focus either on active smokers or on health effects, and my research extends these discussions by exploring intra-household effect, specifically how the husband smoking behavior may create negative externalities that reduce the wife productivity. In short, I shift the focus from individual effect to spillover effect within the family. Research objective and questions. The objective of my study is to examine whether exposures to secondhand smoke from husband negatively affect the labor productivity of married women. The main research questions I aim to answer is: does husband smoking behavior negatively affect wife productivity in Indonesia? By answering these questions, I hope to show that smoking harms not just the smokers, but also the people close to them, especially in terms of economic well-being. For this study, I used cross-sectional data from the Indonesia Family Life Survey, IFLS Wave 5, which was collected in 2014-2015. IFLS is one of the richest datasets in Indonesia, covering over 16,000 households and 50,000 individuals from 13 provinces. The datasets that I'm gonna use will contain about detailed information about household demographic, labor market outcomes, and individual smoking behavior. I focus on household where the husband is a smoker and the wife is a non-smoker who participates in labor market. The setup allow me to isolate the indirect effect of smoking, specifically how husband smoking behavior may affect wife productivity, which measured by working hour or income. The main limitations of the dataset is that it only covered 13 provinces, so it's not fully representative of the entire country. Also, because the dataset is from 2014 to 2015, the data may not fully reflect today's labor or smoking conditions. But still, it provides the most reliable and comprehensive household level data available in Indonesia. For the methodology, I use 2SLS instrumental variable regressions. This method helps deals with indigeneity problems such as unobserved factor or reserved causality between smoking and productivity. In the first stage, I regress the husband smoking behavior on the instrumental variable, which is the real cigarette price, and several control variables, which are husband's education, husband age, area of residence, and also family size. The idea is that cigarette price influence smoking behavior. When price go up, smoking tend to decrease, but they don't directly affect the wife productivity. They satisfy the two key IV assumptions, which is relevant, it affects smoking, and also exogeneity, it doesn't directly affect wife productivity. In the second stage, I take the predicted smoking value from the first stage and regress the wife productivity on them with the same control variables. The second stage helped me to capture the causal impact of the husband smoking behavior rather than a simple correlations. So overall, these two SLS reduce bias caused by unobserved household characteristics and helps me to estimate how much smoking actually affect the wife productivity. Limitations. As I mentioned before, the IFLS 5 data only covers 13 provinces, so it might not represent all regions in Indonesia. The datasets is also from 2014 to 2015, meaning they may not reflect the latest trend in smoking or women labor participations. Second limitations is from my instrumental variable, which is the real cigarette price. The real cigarette price is measured nationally, not locally, so it might not capture price differences between regions or brands. Last, I do not include policy-level controls such as regional smoking ban or tax changes, which could also affect the smoking behavior. I think that's all for my presentations. Thank you very much for listening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or feedback you have about my proposal.